When you're ready.
Okay, so welcome back to another episode. Today we've got Sophie Cook here with us. Hello. It's like a second part of a podcast collab, isn't it?
It is. Collaboration podcast alert over here. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking at these treats on the table, which I want to eat, but I feel like I can't eat and talk, so maybe I'll take one home.
Yeah, maybe. I recommend it.
Maybe I'll take all four.
Maybe not all at once.
The cornflake tart. Am I not?
Yeah, I mean, someone's already got their eye on that on Instagram.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, for the benefit of people who don't know you, marketing, senior marketing exec, podcast host, radio presenter.
All the things.
And all the other stuff.
Yes.
Around that.
So, I guess where the start of the collaboration has happened is you came on my podcast, The Marple Journal. So I host that, and I also work in marketing for a public sector marketing agency in Stockport. I also host a radio show, which is on a Tuesday evening, and do a bit of presenting, marketing, podcasting, all sorts.
Yes, there's a lot to go at there.
There's a lot.
Marketing, right? Okay, so have you always been interested in that? How did that come about?
That actually came about a few years ago. So I did journalism at uni, which I kind of did because I didn't know what to do. So I did film studies as an undergrad, loved it, loved films, but I thought, what am I going to do with this now?
Sure.
I panicked, did a master's.
Okay. Yeah.
So it turned out all right, but it was a bit of a panic. So I did multimedia journalism when I figured I've kind of combined acting, presenting. I hadn't quite found my love for presenting yet, so it was more the acting. I was like, I can do a bit of presenting on camera, a bit of writing, journalism. I'm interested in that. So I kind of merged the skills I was interested in together and then figured I was quite good at it and I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, the news side of the journalism scared me. I started the course and I did cry a few times to my tutor because I was like, listen, I don't know about all these public affairs and what's going on in the world, and I know I should know more, but I feel afraid. So I kind of swayed more to like the radio, the TV journalism, and then came out of that. I made my own podcast for my dissertation, which was about film actually, and then came out of that and got into my first marketing job, but the title was content writer, which never heard that title before. But I thought journalism, writing, but that was for a recruitment company in Liverpool. So got into the world of recruitment. I was on their marketing team, so that was kind of my first taste of marketing. Stayed there for 3 years, absolutely loved it, but I expanded my role there to do podcasting and presenting because it came up in the business. And then my roles since then have incorporated presenting. So, and then here we are doing the podcast. It's all kind of somehow transpired, but I guess it started with like the journalism aspect of it before getting there to marketing.
So you were into drama and acting and stuff like that?
Can you tell? I literally talk with my hands all the time. I've not done it for a while though. I actually keep thinking I should get back into it, but I loved drama at primary school, did Carver Productions, did the gang show, shout out gang show, did all that, and then got to college, loved it, nearly took drama at uni, considered going to drama school, but I picked film studies instead. So who knows where that route would have taken me if I'd done drama, but that's always been a passion. But presenting and hosting pulls a lot from, if you're a naturally dramatic person, it does help. Did you do drama?
No, I hated drama at school. Yeah, I was not a natural with that, and was quite annoyed about having to do it as well.
Yes, a lot of people were.
Yeah.
It's like me with maths. I was like, why am I doing this? I don't need to do this.
Well, captivated by people who could do it well.
Right.
Yeah. And I've always... It's the public speaking that I was interested in, but awful at. And presenting at university projects was something that I'm glad there was no no cameras there or phones or anything, but over time you get used to it.
I actually didn't really enjoy public speaking at uni, so I don't know how we've ended up here, but I think it is the more you do it.
Sure.
And if you're passionate about what you're talking about, you're going to deliver a good talk. I think that's, when you know what you're doing. No one really knows what they're doing, but...
Why podcasting? What's all that about?
I'm nosy. I love delving into people's stories, and I think from the podcast I did with my old job, it was part of a charity called Make Life Kind, and we were putting speakers into schools to talk about stuff that they didn't speak about normally in school. So like a lot of diversity stuff, LGBTQ2+, mental health, those kind of stigma topics. So on the podcast, I would interview school speakers about how they got to where they are, their struggles, and really get to the bottom of it. And I just loved hearing like people's growth, how they'd gone from a really tough situation into positivity or found their way in life, and how they inspire others. And I think that kind of sparked my interest in, when you might look at a business in Marple or Manchester or Macclesfield, wherever you are, and you think, oh, it's so successful, or they do great, or I love their products, whatever it is. But how did they get there? And what struggles have they gone through to get there? And also their personal story. Like, there's going to be a personal story. If they've got a business, they're a person. They have a family, they have friends, they have struggles. Where have they come from? Why? So I think, especially starting, I guess, the Marple Journal podcast was, I want to, find out people's stories in Marple and local people, and shine a light on kind of the reality of running businesses and the people that are in Marple, and show off the amazingness, that's not even a word, the amazingness that's going on in Marple. Because I think sometimes we lose that, and sometimes I think people are scared, and this isn't necessarily their fault, but taboo subjects or stigmatized topics, like, we don't ask about people's mental health that much, and we don't interview people about those things, or grief, or I don't know what it is, whatever it is they've been through. And I was like, why not? We need to do that. And also, that's what everyone wants to know. They want to know the details. Everyone's nosy.
But it's like what drives someone. Why are you doing it? It's quite interesting.
Exactly.
And not just in Marple, but anywhere. There's so many interesting people in business, and what makes you actually do something. And so, what made you actually do the podcast?
So, I don't know if you know this, but the Marple Journal was just a news website before, which started during my masters, because we had to set up a hyper-local news website was our project. And I was like, obviously I'm going to pick Marple. So we had to build this website and basically write stories. It didn't need to go anywhere, but it was just kind of for our project, for our university degree. So I interviewed local businesses about their stories and posted them on our website. And also we had a local news website at uni, which I posted them to. So I don't know, I interviewed like Stockport Gin about their story. I know when it was all in the works about the new Marple Baths and all of the leisure centre that's happening now. Interviewing people about that, interviewing local councillors, talking about the election, whatever it was. And I was posting these stories and got quite a few Facebook followers, like not loads, but people were engaging. People wanted stories writing about them. So I was like, cool. Did that for a bit. COVID happened. Carried it on a bit. I thought, this is nice. Started doing little live videos on Facebook, which was so random. Like, I look back at them now. You'll have to watch one later. It's literally me waking up at 8 a.m. just so I'd get up in the morning during lockdown and being like, hello, everyone. I'm going to talk to you about something positive for half an hour. And then I'd just talk to my friends who were in the comments. So I did that. And then when things kind of got back to normal, I got a full-time job. It stopped. And then years later, coming back to kind of end of last year, I was like, really want to start my own podcast, but I don't know what on, and I can't just sit and chat. I could.
I'm pretty sure you could.
I could. But I was like, what's going to be interesting? And I want something where I can potentially build it or potentially help people. A brainwave came to me in the car.
Yeah.
Like, what about the Marple Journal that you started 4 years ago? Like, why not just transition into a podcast?
Right.
Do the same thing. You had the idea, but do that. And then I was like, I want to do it properly in a studio. So then I started my studio search. And then Morgan at Cheshire Podcast Studio kept messaging me because I'd replied to one of his ads. And I was like, not yet, not yet. And then I jumped in. I went through a breakup end of last year just to get a bit vulnerable. And that is what triggered me because I'd put it off for ages.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you're going through a tough time like that, where you're like, I need to do something that's completely different, that'll throw me into something positive. So I started it. And yeah, so I don't think I would have started it if that hadn't happened.
No.
But it was a long time coming. So yeah, that is how the Marple Journal podcast was born. And I've done 5 episodes now. We're doing about 1 a month. I'd like to do more, but with full-time work and everything else going on, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. Well done for doing it.
Well done, you.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting thing. For me, it's similar, you know, same interesting ways people have grown the business and what makes them good at what they do. And I thought, well, if I found something useful from talking to someone, then other people would as well.
Exactly.
We don't know whether that happens, but it's good for personal PR and business PR and all that. Yeah. And occasionally someone says to you, I watched you on that, you're quite good.
Yeah.
You know,
or I took something from it, or, you know, my friend at work was actually saying she'd watched your podcast and she lost her dad when she was younger and she was really resonating with it. And she was like, oh, it was so amazing that he could open up and share his story. And I was like, please tell him this, because this is the feedback we need, because it even affecting one person, that's massive. Yeah.
It's funny how you start talking about things that you hadn't planned to start talking about.
You're like, oh no.
But it was a big driver in who I am and what I ended up doing. Yeah. Kind of came out. So well done on that.
Just so good at interviewing. I think what it is, you get more and more comfortable as the time goes on. So the best bits start coming out towards the end, like the stuff that you maybe didn't think about talking about or would actually really help people, but you just need to settle in. Yeah.
I mean, if you talked about the breakup and then it triggering you into doing something. Sometimes you need to get rid. You know, like if you're clearing clutter out of the house, sometimes you need to get rid of stuff to bring some good stuff
100%.
in, and it clears out the mind, and you can then reassess. I
didn't realise at the time so much, but I really lost myself last year. And family and friends would kind of hint to it, but, you know, they don't want to upset you. So I was so focused on my relationship at the time and trying to make it work. And when you're in love with someone, you don't see clearly. I was so consumed with that. And I am a very loving person. And when I love someone, I really go all in. Like, everyone says it, they're like, Sophie, maybe, like, don't attach so much, like, just chill a little bit. I'm like, this is me. But that means, obviously, the rest of your life can take a bit of a kind of derail. Yeah. And I'd moved from my marketing job that I loved. I kind of lost a bit of love for that. It wasn't going in the direction I wanted it to go in. But I was also in the relationship. And I think that swayed me a bit at the time. And I think if I was single at that point, or maybe in a different relationship, it might not have. But I think losing that job, I chose to leave, but say losing that job, that was a big part of my identity. And I was face in front of the camera all the time, presenting, you know, got involved with so much of the business, lost that, went into youth engagement, really random sidestep. Do you know NCS? It did close down, but like youth programs for 15, 17-year-olds. So I was going into schools, selling this youth program, still presenting, but complete sidestep. didn't really love it. I liked the people, but I'd lost my passion. I'd kind of lost what am I doing? I want to be presenting, I want to be podcasting. I'm now not doing that. Who am I? I'm in this relationship that, you know, I love this person, but I don't know who I am anymore. That went on and on and on. And then I thought, I want to start a podcast, but I just wasn't in that space where I could do it. And also, I think when you know things need to end as well, I kept prolonging it because I was so emotionally invested. So when we did finally break up, as heartbreaking as it was, and, you know, it was months of sadness, but I was like, wow, I've got so much time. Like, oh, I can do all these things. And like, it's bittersweet. And now I look back and I think I genuinely wouldn't have even started the podcast if I'd have carried on in that situation. And I think that's wild, but I think sometimes you do have to just have those really sad times to come out and also to create things, because creatives thrive off like emotions, you know? Like sometimes you're like, I wouldn't have set up that business, or I wouldn't have gone out with my friends and met those people because I would have stayed in, or I would have gone out with my partner, or, you know, it opens you up in a lot of ways. Not saying that it's not sad, but it can be a positive, I think, career thing. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes there's a real delicate balance in anything, isn't there? And Jill, who came on the last one, it was about the, is it time for her now to be really selfish in terms of what she wants to do in her career and her life? And you know, there are choices to be made sometimes.
Yeah, there are.
So it's definitely one thing having an idea, and then it's one thing actually doing it. I mean, I had a situation where a friend said, James, just do one.
Yeah, just start.
Stop talking about it, just do one. Did you have anything like that?
I think it was just a battle with myself, to be honest. I think I do this where I have an idea and I think, brilliant, and if I don't do it immediately then, it will be months. And it was months.
Yeah.
But I made the decision to post on Instagram about it. And then I thought, well, I have to do it now because a couple of my friends have liked it. So that's it. And then I put it on Marble Community Hub and I thought, well, I've got to do it now.
Yeah.
Had no idea. And I thought, I'm going to do it remotely for cost. You know, I started from home. And then I thought, no, I need to just go all in because I want the studio vibe, and I want the clips, and I want people to want to come on it and be excited and have that content then.
Sure.
And I think it feels like a bigger deal, like I'm going, little studio day, you know, I'm just doing my little studio podcasting job now.
I love the mindset of being all in.
Yeah, I think it's got to be that way. Not that I say all in, like I had to start it and I just kind of plodded along and I recorded 2 episodes in one day because I thought, well, then I've got to. I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah.
And the posting about it and the sharing. Yeah. But I think I've not gone all in the sense of recording loads because I also struggle managing time and managing a million things. And I think I don't want to go too far where I can't.
It's tricky to arrange getting 2-3 people in the same place at once.
Yeah, it is.
And then...
I shall know. It is. It's difficult, but it's such a great thing, I think. And even if, you know, I enjoy it, I enjoy talking to people, as you probably do, you know, finding out about people. Even if, like, 20 people, 50 people listen to it, you know, at this point, I'm not pushing it as a kind of monetizing thing.
No.
I'd like to at some point, but I know that takes, I'm going to have to put a lot more effort into it. But for now, because it's like my hobby, my little like project, I'm like, there's no pressure.
I like the idea of having purpose and giving you purpose in something. You're doing something for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you love it and it gives fulfillment.
Yeah.
And you kind of need that in life.
Exactly. And it's work, but it's not work. So it might be like an extension of your work, or it might be a project, but it's related to what I'm doing, but it's mine. And I don't have to answer to anyone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I have control. Like, if I want to change the intro, if I want to add a funny clip at the start, if I want to ask Morgan, who directs it, to like do something different, I can. And I think that's so nice. It's a bit overwhelming sometimes. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'll just do it the same and we'll try again. But I think it's just nice doing something that's, I find it's career focused because I feel it's building a bit of a portfolio for me. It's adding to my kind of presenter show reel, let's say. It looks great on a CV, but it's also a passion project. So
you're
it's
making
a nice
contacts as well, and people are seeing what you're doing. It's amazing the people actually have watched the one that we did and talked to me about what they liked about it, which I wasn't expecting. And
you're like, no one's gonna watch it.
Yeah, usually, I told you about a friend that said he listens to it before bedtime.
You're like, thanks.
Great cure for insomnia. But actually, you don't know what. When we don't monetize this, but actually we've got business from it and made good connections and relationships from it. Yeah. And there's a lot more to it than just the physical thing it puts out. And for personal PR for you, I'm sure. Yeah, it's good.
Well, yeah, it's good, and I think I think personally it shines a light on people in a great way. I think people come across great in the podcast, and you know that's a mix of the studio, you know, the questions we work on kind of together, how you position yourself. I think it's a really glowing kind of slight advertisement for your business, but mainly about who you are, your character, why people might want to work with you, but they get to know you a bit. So it's not sell, which I didn't want it to be. But it's hard to not be sometimes. So that's why I go down the route of grilling, like tell me about your life and what have you gone through, and tell everyone, because then it makes them buy into you as a person, and then they'll remember you if they need, I don't know, SEO services or whatever they need. They'll be like, hey, I listened to a podcast with someone who mentioned that word.
Yeah, and people get to know a bit more about me, and even hear how I sound, or talk about marketing, or just how you are with people. I think that generates trust with people.
Exactly, I agree.
So radio presenting.
Yes.
Tell me more.
It's another hobby. I'm not being paid for that. No. So, but it's really fun. Started last year. They're just like small. I started off with 2 small radio stations. They had on LinkedIn that they were advertising for presenters. I was like, presenter for a radio show? How cool. I didn't really think, I hadn't really looked into it. I didn't think that was kind of a possibility to do like small radio shows and also remote radio. So literally I had to buy a microphone, a lead for my laptop. That was it. Oh, right, and you just set all the software up on there. It's literally a link. You record voice tracks into it. They set out the whole show. So you can change the music, but sometimes I leave it in. And you just record your presenting bits, and then that's it. And you can do it from home. And we've got a mix of presenters on there. The one I'm with at the moment is called Delight Radio. So I do a little shout out, 7 till 9 on a Tuesday night. But it's just funny because I've got friends who are like, we listen to your radio show. Like, what studio are you in? Like, do you go to London to do it? And I'm like, I'm literally sat in my room with my little microphone. But it's great. And I think that's also a great thing to shout about. If anyone's interested in radio, wants to try out doing radio hosting or presenting, honestly, have a look on LinkedIn or just search presenter jobs, because it's voluntary stuff. You get experience. They have a cool presenter. You can make your show what you want. I've made mine well-being tips, because why not? But yeah, just another hobby. And I thought hey, maybe I'll end up on your like BBC Manchester. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good content, isn't it? Stuff you can share, add to my CV. It's always an addition to the CV.
But it's good to do it, rather
Exactly.
than not doing it.
Yeah.
And talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone that is thinking about starting up a podcast, would you have any tips for them? And I've not prepped you with any questions.
That's okay. We're just going. We're going. I am very I send everyone my questions. I'm like, are you okay with all of these? But that's because I want to ask them deep questions.
I like to wing things.
I've walked in here I'm winging this. I don't know what I'm saying. So whatever's come out, apologies. We've done well so far.
Yeah.
I would say, just go for it. Because if you overthink it too much, you're not going to do it. So if you've had an idea, you think it's got legs, you think it's got enough, you've done a little mind map, and you've got at least 5 points down of what you're going to talk about, just start. Just get on Canva, make a little image, or if you know a graphic designer friend, do that. I just went on Canva, made a little logo, made an Instagram, posted it, and then thought, we'll go from here.
Sure.
I'd say think of 5 guests you'd have before you start. At least then you're a bit ahead of the game. I would also say, if you wanted to post to Apple Podcasts and things, this isn't maybe helpful, but I've just gone for Spotify and YouTube at the moment. And Spotify Creators, so easy to use. It's free. You use your normal Spotify account. As long as you have kind of the link to your recording, whether you're doing a studio or you've just got an MP4, you upload the link, you edit the title and bio, bam, you publish to Spotify. Why is it that easy?
We do use Spotify Creators, and it goes to Apple Podcasts as well. And
there you go.
Amazon Music, and
it's so good. Yeah, exactly. And you can. I googled. I watched YouTube videos. You can find out how to do it.
You can create backlinks from an SEO perspective back to the website.
Exactly. I would recommend. I love the studio feel. If you're not bothered about the studio, you can literally do it from home. People use, is it Anchor, I think, from home? There's loads of different podcast platforms you can use and literally record. Riverside is a good one. You can record directly into Riverside. You've got the link then up to Spotify Creators. Sorted. But yeah, just go for it. Have a Google.
Do you ever
find some guests?
Anyone that you've asked to come on that's like a bit, I don't want to do it, I don't want to see my face, or do I sound like that?
There's been a couple of people that are like, I don't think I'd want to talk, I don't think I'd want to speak, could you do most of the talking for me and all this? And I'm like, but you're amazing, you can come on. And when you know someone and you know they'd be great, but they've just not got that confidence. So I think I've only had that once, but a lot of people are really keen. I think people want to come and talk about what they're doing. And I think if you create also a safe space where they've seen a few episodes now, they know what the type of question is, they know what the vibe is. I want it to feel like we're sat having a cup of tea, even though we might not be actually, just water. But I want it to...
brownies.
And brownies.
It's usually coffee as well.
I actually turned down the coffee. You did offer me one. I think if you create a safe space, you've got examples of it, like yours. If you invite people on, they've got hundreds they can go and watch and get the vibe.
70.
Tens, hundreds. There will be hundreds. They can go and watch and get a feel. And I think it's hard to convince people sometimes, but I think people are just a bit shy and they need the confidence boost.
Do you prepare what you say? Yeah.
Yes. I'm less scripted now, but you saw me with my cue cards.
Yeah.
I sit.
I felt like I should get some.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know, I thought, where are your cue cards? You just go with the flow. I'm not a very much go with the flow person. When does the flow start? And where do I need to be? Yeah. So I like to prep because I'm like, then I know nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
But I've started to use it less and less because when you're saying the same intro, you're saying the same outro pretty much. I'll have it there just in case. But I will prep questions just because I always want to check with the guests that they're happy with them, because often I'll want to ask them quite vulnerable questions or intimate questions, and I don't want them to be thrown off in the moment. I think it's fine on some questions if we're already vibing and I'm like, oh, I'll throw in another one.
Sure.
But I want them to kind of come in being like, I know what I'm being asked and this is a safe space. And I'm always like, we can cut anything out you don't like, but it never happens. But they've got the option. But I am very prep heavy.
Sure.
And I probably need to chill out a bit on the prep. Maybe I should try the next one, no cue cards.
I've prepped more for ones and they've come out not as good.
Oh, really?
But there's so many variables in terms of the guest and the topic and things like that. So but mine's dead easy. It's like, tell me about yourself, and then, well, how'd you get into that?
Do you get nervous though, like thinking about questions as you go?
No.
It just happens.
Tends to it's rare that I don't have a question in mind. But sometimes it can be hard to warm up a guest who's very nervous.
Yes.
So, obviously, there's no problem for you.
Well, we already know each other, whereas maybe I don't.
Yeah.
We'd still be chatting away, I reckon.
Yeah, but, it depends on... There's been a few interesting topics, hasn't there, George? And a few interesting guests, and sometimes you're like, this is hard work.
Oh, really?
But it usually comes out fine. The nice thing with, we've seen from a few that were really nervous was that when they've shared it out reluctantly to friends and family and to contacts, they come back and go, I really enjoyed.
Oh.
And I didn't realise you'd done all that stuff. And wow, and they come back and they've grown a bit and they're a bit more confident about what they do.
Even friends, like, friends of the person, you might think you know someone, or you might think you do know a lot about them, but then you might hear something in a podcast they've done and be like, oh, we've never talked about that, or, oh, you really opened up about that and I've never heard you talk about it. Because I think you do, when you're being interviewed, you do, at the start, you're quite reserved and kind of walls are up a little bit, especially if you're a nervous person. And then as you've been chatting, people are opening up, things come out, as we know, that you're not expecting to say. And then they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't know I was going to get upset, or I didn't know I've had, someone cry on the podcast, and they're like, oh, I don't know why I'm crying. And I was like, let it out. This is a safe space, like therapy. It's like a therapy couch. Maybe I should turn it into a little...
It is a little bit like that, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And when, apart from in an interview, like a job interview or an interview on a podcast, when are you asked that much about yourself? We're not.
No.
In a conversation with a friend having coffee, you flicker in between... your two lives. How have you been? What's been going on? Blah, blah, blah. The coffee comes, you've moved conversation. You don't know what's going on. You never really have that like intentional grilled interview. So things are going to come out that you're like, oh, wow, okay. So I think it's an amazing thing, and I think podcasting is such a beautiful thing. I think it's such a cool media.
I do, and it's not restricted.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of media personalities doing their own because they have full control over what they talk about and who they have on. And they don't get that in the...
No. Well, so just a little anecdote, Taylor Swift, because I should have said that at the start, I'm a big Swiftie. She's announced her new album, which has been coming for a while. The way she announced it is actually on a podcast, which she's not done before, but her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, who's an American football player, he has a podcast with his brother. Can't remember what it's called. If you Google Taylor Swift podcast, it'll come up. She decided to announce her new album on that podcast. So they released a snippet of her showing the album cover. And it's obviously gone viral because it's Taylor Swift. But I was reading about it on LinkedIn, and obviously I follow loads of marketing people, and they were like, podcasting is such a key marketing tool because of the control you have over it. And Taylor has chosen her boyfriend's podcast because she knows, obviously it'll all be prepped and probably scripted. But she's in a safe space. She can control the narrative. And she's not going to news. She's not going on a talk show. She's using podcasting, and it's a 2-hour podcast. And I'm going to listen to it tonight. Can't wait.
Well, they reckon the big driver for Trump winning the election was that he went and did the podcast tour and was grilled on questions that they wouldn't have been asked in a debate or anything like that.
So true.
And they reckon that's what kind of swung a few of the voters, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's massive now, podcasting in general, isn't it? Everyone's doing a podcast.
So would Taylor Swift be your dream guest?
Oh, imagine. What connection does she have to Marple? Who cares? She's coming on the Marple Journal. Maybe at that point, it'll have grown to like
the World
Journal. People do. Who keeps asking? Morgan, who runs the studio, is like, when are you going to expand it? And I'm like, Morgan, I'm not there yet. Like, there's literally like 30,000 people in Marple. Maybe when we've got round a few more of them, we'll consider branching out to like Stockport. Maybe further afield. Don't know. It's too many people. Big Swiftie. Would love. They say don't meet your heroes though, don't they? But she always looks lovely when she meets people. And I did go to a tour last year, and it cost a lot of money. Yeah. But it was worth it. But I need to improve my music taste. Right. Because I do just listen mainly to Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Well, it'd certainly promote your podcast a bit more, wouldn't it? So,
that would be great.
Growing it.
The whole world would know about Marple then.
I'm not sure Marple will be the focus, but
probably not. But hey,
what's the future hold? What's going on?
So, grow the Marple Journal podcast. That's the goal. I want to kind of complete season 1. In my head, I'm thinking 10 episodes. We'll see how that goes. I really want to get more people on board. I'd love a sponsor for it. That would be brilliant. If anyone's listening or watching, I'll promote your products. Could be a little coffee can or something I'll promote. Maybe wine. Maybe we'll do a little... That'd suit the Marple Journal vibe, probably. I'd love to grow it a bit and just keep going as it is and grow the listeners. And I think getting people on that have those bigger followings and the collabs and the shares really helps. And just stick at it, because I'm really proud of it. And I think it's an easy thing to drop, you know, when you get busy and you think, I've not got time to record on, or I've not got time to promote it. I really want to carry it on because I love it. And I think getting more guests. So anyone in Marple or connected to Marple, it could be you were born there, you grew up there, your mum's from there, you have a business there. Get in touch. DM us on Instagram or the Marple Journal at outlook.com, I think. And with work, just do more presenting. I've been hosting webinars and podcasts. And what else? Events.
You were down in London, weren't you?
Yeah, hosted an event series, which was terrifying. But that was on my goals. I'm all about vision boards. I had a picture of a girl speaking to a crowd, and I was like, I'm going to do more public speaking. And I hosted 3-day conference that week. One of the days I was put on the spot because my boss was meant to do it, and he was like, oh, can you prepare to host? Because I don't think I'll be able to come. And I was like, brilliant. So I did that. But these things, you think, I've done it now, I could do it again. So more hosting, more getting myself out there. And I guess more networking. Growing the Marple Journal would be ideal.
Good. With when you were hosting, you were asked to wing it a little bit, or can you prep because this is going on tomorrow? What was the feeling for that? It could be a good opportunity.
Yes. So I always think there's a quote that's, you wouldn't have the opportunity if you weren't ready for it. So if someone is asking you to do something, you are probably the right person to do it. They wouldn't be asking you. And even you're going to feel the fear, you're going to feel the nerves. But once you've done it, you'll feel so proud. And it also tells your brain that you can do those things. So I think if I get nervous before something, I think, right, in an hour, it'll be done. And then the next time I do that, I'll be like, I've done it before. Even if I'm nervous, you've got that evidence. I think your brain always needs evidence that you can do something, because otherwise it just goes to spiral and say, you can't do it. And you're like, hold on, I did one. So with the events, it was a back and forth. So the director of my company, he was like, you're hosting these events, brilliant. So I was prepping. I was in the zone. I was going to get some cue cards. I was ready. And then it gets to the events and he was like, oh no, I'm going to host the first 2. You can do the next 3, which were in 2 weeks later, right? So that threw me off. And I'm not great with change. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I thought, it gives me more time to prep. Gets to the week of the 3. And he's like, the night before, like, no, don't worry, I'm doing them. And I was like, but I'm in the headspace now. But I was really nervous. And at that point, it felt like a get out card. I was phew, don't have to do it. I'm just going to be the runner-rounder at the event and make sure everyone's okay. Brilliant. Gets to the event. And I think it was the first day. Yeah, it was. It was like 6 a.m. in the morning and he wasn't well. So he messaged me saying, prepare to host. I was on my way to the event already. So I wasn't in my outfit I wanted. I wasn't prepped mentally. I hadn't had enough sleep. I had more beers the night before because I thought I wasn't hosting. But I got there and I was nervous. And I was writing my script as I was going. Didn't have cue cards. I had to read it off my phone. Oh, it was sad. It was sad times. But I did it. And as soon as I got that first, minute of talking out to introduce the day, and then I went and sat down, I was like, okay,
we're all right.
The first bit's done. Even if you can get through that first minute, you can do the rest. And then I ended up hosting the second day. I ended up hosting the day after that, and each day got easier. And while I was doing it, I thought, I am absolutely just winging it. But I'm doing it. And everyone's telling me I'm doing a good job, so must be something. And then they were actually all really nice about it. And they were like, you've done so well. Like, well done for just jumping in. I was like, listen, you just got to do it.
Break it up into small bits.
Small pieces. If I get this done, I can then have a coffee. I can have a break. The lunch was really nice. So I was like, get to lunchtime, have some lunch. And then just think about how you're going to feel when you've hosted 3 events. And you're like saying to everyone, like, yeah, I host those events. And now everyone knows you and they know your face and they think you're really confident, even if you're literally terrified.
I had, years ago, a friend who's a music teacher, and I was an usher at his wedding and was sat in church in the front row, and he gets out a piece of paper and a pen and he starts writing. I was like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm just writing the speech out for later. And so he'd being serious. You're doing your speech now, and he went, well, I know kind of what I'm going to say. I just feel like I want to put it down on paper. And so years after, I said, gee, he was really good as well. So completely in awe of this guy. And I said a few years later, well, how did you do that? How did you do that? And he said, well, in my job, I speak every day to hundreds of kids, and there's no problem. I just knew what I was going to say. I just wanted a bit of a sequence for it.
A bit of a guide.
And they said, if you just keep doing it, you'll be fine.
This is it. Yeah. I do that. I will prep, even though I could probably get up and kind of work my way around and figure out what I'm going to say. But I just get the fear. I don't know where this came from. I think this has come from, we're unpacking it. It's like therapy. I think it came from doing drama, and I've got a distinct memory of forgetting my lines. And it was the worst moment when everyone's staring at you and you literally mind blank, don't know what you're saying. It stays with you. And now I get so scared that I'm going to forget my lines. It's not drama, we're not acting, but it's the same, that I have to have a script. Because even if I really, I think I know what I'm saying, I think, but what if? What if? Your mind goes blank, because it does. Speaking, sometimes doing the podcast, even though I've got cards, I'll be listening to someone and then I'm like, where has this thought just gone?
Well, I got someone's name wrong when I was introducing them. And I thought, oh no, that's the start.
It's not starting off well.
There's an element of respect
Yeah.
getting someone's name right. And then George kept it in the edit, thinking it was funny. Oh no. Luckily, the person who was on it had no problem with it whatsoever. So,
did you correct yourself? Or you
yeah,
just carried on?
No, I had to.
You speak to a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's bound to happen at some point.
It's not good and incredibly embarrassing. But yeah, it's important. There is a certain amount of prep that is good.
Yes, I do feel I maybe need to let go a little bit, but I just fear. I've always got that fear in me that I'm going to forget. I also think if you don't really know what you're talking about, like the stuff I do with work, it's all about innovating the public sector, and I speak to kind of councils and central government and NHS trusts about, I don't know, like AI or quantum. Or I do not understand these things. I'm there as the host. I have to have my questions. I can't deviate off that because I will not know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks I do a great job, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you what they've just said to me. Like, genuinely. Someone will like ask afterwards, like, oh, how was it? What did they speak about? And I'm like, watch the recording. Like, genuinely, please. Because I'll be engaged in the moment, but I'm so set on having to get through the questions and making sure all the panelists have answered and making sure the whole thing runs smoothly. It's like an out-of-body experience. And I think if I'm not prepped on those sort of things, I can't just wing it. Whereas, I guess like my own podcast, I could wing it because it's mine. And I know I can wing it. With like innovation, AI, quant, we need to be prepped for that. Maybe one day I'll be like, I know all this stuff. I don't need a script anymore.
Gary Lineker talks about his longevity in the media from there, and he says that the reason why it's lasted so long is that because he's a presenter and not a pundit, and not having any criticism of players or getting things wrong. He doesn't have to know anything.
Yeah.
He said there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, he says that kind of upset people in the media, but it's interesting. The presenting world is I feel is a good balance between.
Yes. It is just funny how you can present something and not have a clue what you're talking about. Like, I think that's really funny. And people watch it and think, wow, she's talking all about, I don't know, ethical AI and local government. I couldn't sit here and tell you like 2 sentences about it, but I did that. And it's online. Yeah. And I'm like, I could do it. Yeah. But is that not life? Like, you just don't really know what you're doing. Everyone's the same. I speak to my dad about it, and I'm like, we have the same fears, and we're obviously years apart, completely different jobs. He's really senior, and we both have days where we're like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a big realization of getting older is that everyone's winging it at some point.
Everyone is.
Like leaving the hospital with newborn baby, and you're like, is this legal? Can we go?
Am I allowed?
Yeah, how do you do this? Look, I have no idea.
Googling how to look after a baby.
Winging. Yeah, ChatGPT.
Yeah, 5 tips.
To keep this thing alive.
No, so scary.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone is just winging it.
Yeah, and there's a big realisation I had was that everyone wings it and don't worry.
It's also quite freeing though. Like, once you realise that, you're like, like, people just, I wouldn't say lie, embellish the truth and get through things and big themselves up in an interview to get a job, whatever it is. And then you get in the job and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. But you learn along the way. And if you're confident, confidence is key. Even if you're pretending you're confident, if you've not found your actual confidence yet, you're pretending you're confident, you're putting on a front, people will think you know what you're doing. But none of us do. Even people in these really high up jobs, like, I think that is so freeing, and it takes so much pressure off, because as long as you're trying, doing your best and building skills, and you'll always have, I don't know, like a certain skill set that someone else hasn't got, where you can offer insight, or you can volunteer to be that person, or I don't know what it was. Like, with hosting or presenting, I know I can put myself forward for that. A lot of other people couldn't, but they will know the nitty gritty about the topics or the research or the writing. I think everyone's winging it. It's really freeing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and just go for it. That's what I've done in my career. I've literally just been like, I want to do that. I'm going to get that job. And then I've just kind of pushed my way in somehow. Honestly, this recent job, I rang them like twice a week for about 3 weeks. And then they did offer me the job, but they weren't ready to hire me. And I was like, I want this job. I don't want it to go. Please. So I pushed, but a lot of people probably wouldn't do that because it seems a bit too eager. But what have you got to lose? The worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
If they turn around and say, we're not hiring you, okay, move on.
Going to harass someone else.
Yeah, move on to another company and harass them. You know, I think sometimes you just have to, if you really want something or you're passionate about something, just do as much as you can. And then you know that there's nothing else I could have done. I've said what I needed to say and you can move on.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
It sounds like a great place to start.
No, how motivational.
There's a clip there.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
I recommend people look up the Marble Journal podcast on Instagram and YouTube and Spotify, and you might hear...
Go to James's episode
me on,
first.
yeah. No, don't. There's many interesting guests on there that I recommend having a watch on. Thank you very much. And that's my first podcast collab.
Look at us go.
I should do more.
We should do more of these.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other podcasts want to collab? Let's do more. Yeah, I'm excited to eat one of these brownies now off camera because that wouldn't have been nice.
Yeah, well, we'll record it anyway and we'll put it on.
Yeah, it'll be like, I thought you'd turn the camera off. You didn't. No, thank you so much. I've loved chatting to you.
I saw it. Marvellous.
Oh, that was lovely. Thanks.